Next, let's go to the next topic of the day. The next topic of the day is Michael Rosenbaum was contacted by CW and the Crisis of Infinite Earths team for the mega crossover, just like we saw last time when I did this massive news update for you guys. We talked about Tom Welling, we talked about Erica Durance, both of them coming back from Smallville. We knew that this was coming. We knew that they were going to reach out to Michael Rosenbaum. There was no chance that they didn't at least say, hey man, can you be in this thing? Now, we gotta say, give a little bit of props to both parties here. Props to Michael Rosenbaum and props to the studio, because the studio reached out, and let's take a look at what Michael Rosenbaum has to say. But he clearly felt the need to address this with the fans. So let's go ahead and click into this image. And let's see if I can blow this up for you guys. I don't know if it will. Okay, here we go. It says, friends, many of you have tweeted and asked me, Michael Rosenbaum, about joining the Infinite crossover. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I'll just be straight up about it. Warner Bros. Called my agents Friday afternoon when I was in Florida visiting my grandfather in a nursing home. Their offer? No script. No idea what I'm doing, no idea when I'm shooting, basically no money, and the real kick in the pants, we have to know now. And my simple answer was pass. I think you can understand why. I hope this answers all of your questions. Lovingly, Rosenbaum. So let's go ahead and break this down. I want to read this one more time, and I'll just kind of give you my quick thoughts. If you guys haven't already pieced together what this looks like, it basically says that yes, Crisis of Infinite Earths wants Rosenbaum to be part of this, but they didn't give him any reason to be there. Now, if you guys don't know, as an actor, your entire career is based on what you do and choices that you make to maybe avoid roles you would not like to get stuck in. There are certain actors that we can think of that have played certain roles that maybe they regretted down the line. The first one that comes to my mind is Ryan Reynolds taking the role of Green Lantern. Now, I don't think that he actually would have chosen to not do that, because that's where he met his beautiful wife, Blake Lively, and they now have kids together, and they have a life together, and there has been good from that, as well as it wasn't a horrendous film. It got a lot of the lore wrong, and it clearly got Parallax wrong. It didn't understand many of the characters, but there was some highlights there, and I think Ryan Reynolds was maybe one of those. But I will say, as an actor, you do want to avoid certain things if you can. You want to avoid bad press. You want to avoid a bad role. And if you don't know what the role is you're taking, how could you just blindly say yes? Now, Michael Rosenbaum is no spring chicken. He's well experienced and obviously well loved. We all love him from his work on Smallville. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. James Gunn has told him he's going to have more roles for him in the MCU if he sticks around. There's going to be plenty of opportunities coming for him down the pipe. And why would he want to jump into something where he literally has no idea what's going to happen? And he's seen the way that they've treated Superman on Supergirl. He was jobbed. He was the jobber for Supergirl. They basically stepped all over him. There's been plenty of characters that they did not get right. And why would he want to risk tarnishing his perfect record as Lex? He was nothing but gold as Lex, and believe me, I am the #1 advocate saying please put him in this crossover. I want him back. I want to see more Lex. He's my favorite character. I love Smallville. But let's just read this one more time because I want to break this up really quick. So let's start at the WB part. He says, Warner Brothers called my agents Friday afternoon while I was in Florida visiting my grandfather in a nursing home. So obviously there's he's visiting family. It's family that is maybe very life dependent, someone that is up there in years, maybe does not have a lot more time left with. This could be a very emotional experience for Michael Rosenbaum. If you've listened to his podcast, family is a very sensitive issue for him. He obviously is taking time out of his busy life, the podcast he does, to reconnect with some family members, just catch up with them, be there for them, be there with them. And I'm sure that's very touching, very meaningful for everyone involved. And he gets the call probably from his people after they've been called by Warner Brothers. And they're saying, look, here's the deal. We tried to negotiate with Warner Brothers, but all we're getting is that they said we can't offer you a script. It's under lock and key. For some reason, it's super, super secretive. No script. There's also, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what role you're playing. We don't even know if you're playing Lex. We don't know what you're doing. There's no tie. He could have been playing Wally West. As some of us know, he voiced Wally West in the Justice League animated series. So there, you don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to prep for this thing. It also says you don't know when you're shooting. He doesn't know when to schedule this thing. He's got podcasts. He's got friends. He's got a social life. He's got other projects I'm sure he's working on. Maybe vocal roles or things like that. He is a busy guy, and you can't just say, we can't tell you when you're working, but you need to work for us. That doesn't make any sense. And then also it says there's basically no money, which means they probably were just going to pay to fly him out there. Maybe. You know, it doesn't sound like there was any money involved, really. Maybe some compensation for travel expenses, but it doesn't sound like much. And then it says, and the real kick in the pants, I'm gonna rephrase that for the audience. It says, we have to know now. That means, look, you don't know the script, you don't know what role you're doing, you don't know when you're shooting, there's not really going to be any pay, and we need an answer exactly right now. Call us back right now. And he says, look, man, there's no way I can take that. Like, I'd have to think about it even if I knew what I was getting into. I mean, I'd have to probably go home, look it over, work out my schedule. You know what I mean? And he can't even work out his schedule because he doesn't know when he's shooting. So this sucks because I want Rosenbaum in there, but it looks, guys, he said it himself, he can't be in there with no information or compensation whatsoever. So it looks like we're not going to get Lex Luthor in this crossover after all. If he was going to be playing Lex anyway. We do know that there will be a Lex Luthor, but it's the Lex Luthor from Supergirl. And so that will be the Lex Luthor in this crossover, not Michael Rosenbaum. So that is what we're getting. That is all I wanted to say on this topic. So you guys tell me what you think about this down below in the comments. I want to hear from you guys, and let's talk about this. Check this out. Link in the description if you want to follow, check out these tweets, get a closer look, see for yourself, reply to Michael Rosenbaum, let him know you love him, and let him know if you think it was a good decision or if you really, really want him to do it anyway. Those types of things I'm sure will be appreciated by him as he loves his fans. Now, let's go on to the next topic of the day. The next topic of the day is the original Jurassic Park cast